Hi, everybody.
Is that the hamster starting up?
That is the hamster starting up. That's the sound of, gentlemen, start your hamsters. It's a two-stroke. I just not even touch that, all right? Because no matter what else I'm going to say, it's just going to get worse.
All right, so are we live and can you hear us? That's the real question.
Always the million-dollar question.
We look and find we look and find sound.
We look and find sound. Carry on.
Carry on, yes. Hello.
Dave Rush, his first language is not English today. I chew the coconut shell.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday Ask Me Anything with Mike Meyers and Scott Jernigan.
Star of Stage and Screen. How are you today? Oh, hello. We didn't see you there. I want to start every technical video with a, oh, hello. I've been living in the back of your mind for 40 years.
And yes, there's a story about that one.
Oh, there is. Who was it? Udemy?
It
was Ed2Go had these sample videos. It's like how to do this. And here's this guy who was teaching piano, right?
He was teaching children's literature, actually.
Oh, was it?
And he was playing
on
the piano.
He was at the piano.
Yes.
And he's playing the piano. He's like, oh, hello. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, do not do.
That's a thing to not do.
So what are we here for, Mike?
Well, the goal of this AMA is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies on IT certifications. While we concentrate on CompTIA A+, Net+, Security+, we can certainly do a lot more CompTIA certifications of that, as well as outside of the world of CompTIA and even generic technical concepts. All are welcome.
Excellent.
All are welcome.
All are welcome. All are welcome.
That was a terrifying movie. The Exorcist, yipe.
So the key is, you ask questions, type them in the feed, and we answer your questions.
How's that for easy and fun?
Right? This is very fun, very easy.
Of course, when you submit your questions, be sure to also, Bitcoin is accepted. We take Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is good. So in the background, in case you hadn't noticed him yet, is David Rush, who is the senior instructor at Total Seminars.
I don't see him.
Wow. They're coming for you, Mike. I heard him.
I get a little nervous. You go ahead and talk, Scott.
Who is the moderator today in the back channel. And there are a couple other people that will pop in, undoubtedly. Andrew Hutz, newly employed with us and working away on the Network Plus book that we are busily finishing, and we still can't tell you any details. This is like the NDA.
But we will be soon.
Soon.
This week?
This week? Like today.
Is it today?
It should be today. It may, allegedly, it's today.
Well, that's not top secret, that there's the unrolling.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the opening on Network Plus 008. And everything's going to be public. We're very excited about this. And boy, we got everything out pretty much on time this time. I'm happy.
Well, it's getting there.
Yeah.
I'm still, our publisher's like, oh, we might have to slip into 2022. And I'm like, okay, I just completely kicked my bottom, his bottom, and our entire staff's bottoms to make your deadlines. So
yeah,
2021 is good.
They can't do it. They can't do it.
Yeah, it's a Polo Ralph Lauren.
Oh,
yes. Wait. I need to sip my tea. Pinkies up. I wear them because the cloth feels good.
See, you can't do anything from there either. You need to stop immediately as
I will stop right there.
How about them Astros?
How about them Astros? Did you see the shellacking they put on the Rangers yesterday?
They were well shellacked.
15-1.
Well,
That's a shellac.
The Rangers, I mean, when was the last time I intentionally watched a Rangers game? Nolan Ryan was still pitching for them, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All right.
The Texans are a perennial yawn. Sorry for the three.
The Rangers.
What did I say?
Texans.
Oh, no.
They actually
Speaking
won.
of Texans, they won.
They won. A little bit of
Look
a
at us
shocker
talking
there.
about sports with our pinkies out, huh?
That's right.
All right.
That's right, Andre. All right. Yes, sirens, Mike, they're coming.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Right?
You see?
I know,
I said
know.
two-stroke, and people were getting on top of that.
Jason's like, two-stroke, you say?
Oh, David Mohan.
Oh, and by the way, David says that we nailed the intro, 10 out of 10.
Thank you, David.
All the way. So who's here today? Sunny and Mango were here early, 1:32. That's
Yeah, they're
awesome.
already gone. You know, they're in there. They count coup and then move on.
Could be.
Come on to that Sunny and Mango people.
And Telowit, of course. Hello, hello. Good morning to you. Alan Duggan, Andre de Goyert, Jason Helms, excellent. Avinut, hi. David Mohan. Johnson Fan, hello. Welcome.
Johnson Fan sounds like a new person.
It does. Farouk Dar.
Farouk's
hi,
been
Mike.
here.
Long
before.
time no see.
Yeah, I've seen Farouk.
Patricia Grace, our favorite nerd herder.
You still owe us $3, Patricia. Those newspapers aren't free, man.
Right? Yeah, we'll take Dogecoin. Sure, why not?
It's wonderful.
Daniel? Okay, good. Daniel, you're here. Excellent.
Where did you get that nice blue shirt? It's not blue. What are you saying, Daniel? I don't understand what he's talking about.
I don't know, Mike.
Clearly a purple shirt with polka dots. Oh, God.
LBWN?
Everyone's talking about your... Okay, fine. You go ahead and talk about his shirt. I'll be over here if you need me for anything.
Dickies. Yeah, right, Dave. No, I think I got it at, I don't know, Macy's.
Oh, Dickies? No, I think it's actually Richards.
Bob Noob, hey, good to see you. Sunny and Mango, see, they're still here. It's 2:05. They're here. I like it.
What are your thoughts on the N1008 Objectives? I'm very happy about them. CompTIA continues to do a good job tightening up objectives, making them more specific to the exam, and I've been real happy. I was happy with what they did with Security Plus. I was very happy with what they did with Network Plus. Was there anything Network Plus that turned you off, objective-wise?
You mean the part that I'm desperately trying to write today? No, it was good. It was good. Pinky swear.
I do, but I do think the Net Plus objectives, this is the first time that CompTIA has, in my opinion, just straight up went enterprise, no holds barred in terms of understanding things. But from a networking standpoint, I don't find that evil.
No, I mean, it's important for network techs to understand how things work in the enterprise, even if you're working in a smaller shop, because chances are you might move up into the enterprise.
I mean, I mean, if I had my way, I wouldn't mind CompTIA working on fundamentals a little more deeply.
You don't think that's what A+ is for?
No, not for networking. To me, A+, the only thing networking that should be on the A+ is what does it take to get this box hooked to an existing network.
Okay.
Now, that's not exactly right. I know that. But it's not that far from that either. Whereas Net Plus is, unapologetically going for the networking.
Right.
But I would like to see, for example, I think that the Network Plus would benefit from, running a real legitimate DNS server. All right. Which you don't have to run a DNS server to pass the Network Plus, in my opinion. You can memorize the different types of A and AAA, quadruple A records, but to actually make them work and go, that would be about the only challenge I would make about that.
Okay. So, Derek Franklin, I'm new and hoping to learn some stuff.
Ha ha! But he had
Ha
no. He does it with his French laugh of bemusement. Quoi? That's what he's doing. I'm totally on to you, Derek Franklin.
From Ross. Oh,
Ross
we're
for
talking
less.
No.
We're still talking about your clothes.
They are talking about my clothes.
Never had
yeah.
so many men talk about your shirt.
Joey Quetzal's here. And Bob.
Joey Quetzal,
Bob,
man, how do you...
Send me an email. scottj@totalsim.com. I'll follow up with Kathy. Just remind me. Got that? scottj@totalsim.com.
Yeah, I think what's happening here is we're overwhelming poor Kathy with winners, and she's trying to put her foot down, and it's okay. We're good. We don't give away videos.
Well, talk to me.
Yeah, we'll get you fixed up, buddy. Quetzal, man, that's Aztec. Quetzal? I think it is.
Could be.
Joey, do you live on the Yucatan by any chance? Or do you have family from there?
Well, that would be Mayan. Aztecs would be in.
Don't you think I know that? So Mayan then. I meant Mayan.
Although that looks more Aztec or Toltec.
It does. It does. Toltec. That's
Toltec.
That's Toltec. That was the word I was looking for. I don't know. Joey's probably like, dude, I'm Irish, but you know.
Could be.
Did the number of objectives in 08 increase compared to 07? I forgot. I
don't think so.
Or were they?
I think it's still 5 and 5.
Is it? Yeah.
But I can't tell you anything until we get the official lifting of the NDA.
I mean,
Look at these. My lips are tied.
Sealed.
My hands are sealed.
Do you hear love that talk about us? What happened in Security Plus objectives? Okay, Joey, that's kind of dated information at this point, since most of those changes happened at the beginning of last summer. I think the biggest change they did with Security Plus was they kind of restructured the objectives a lot. And topically, like, well, the one thing they did, they got rid of risk management, which really, I mean, they didn't get rid of it in Security Plus, but they took it from a level 1 head down to like a level 3.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Yeah, which I thought was really important, but, you know, it was about the same stuff, though.
Yep. So we have all kinds of people talking here.
We got new faces. We'll have to do a competition just because we got so many new faces.
Right.
Well, we don't give away videos.
Hey, Keisha Green is here. You can start now.
Keisha Green?
You can start now. Zach Morrill is here all the way from the UK, saying hi.
He's got his big vape.
Yep, he does.
Zach has a very big vape.
Derek.
See how I carefully skirt that?
Yeah. And we'll just let it go.
Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Derek is currently working on both Network Plus and Security Plus.
Excellent. Currently
Excellent.
working with cryptography?
Thank you, Dave, for posting my email. Appreciate that.
Why doesn't he give him your real email, though? I keyed Bob Noob is correct.
Quetzalcoatl was an Aztec feathered serpent god.
I thought it was that sauce that they always put on your machaca.
Yeah, that too.
Or when you eat that real hot sauce, that's what you scream out loud. Oh, Quetzalcoatl! Armageddon! Eddie's from Camden, New Jersey. Well, that makes sense.
Well, there you go. Bob, just tell me whichever email to use, and I'll use that. Don't worry. Okay, those of you who are new, YouTube has this really annoying thing where you scroll on your mouse wheel. Sometimes it super scrolls, and you jump from, I was at 2:12, and it jumped all the way to 2:15 or whatever time it is now. Oh, well, it's actually only 2:13, so it didn't jump that much. People are chatting.
Yeah, so when it does this jump, unfortunately, then we're starting to scroll back.
Look, you were actually right.
What?
Even though you were wrong. Joey says it's Quetzal, not Quetzal. It's the same spelling, Joey, so I'm not sure where you're going with that. And he's Mayan. Or the name's Mayan.
He's mine. It's not yours. So, Joey, back when I used to go to Mexico a lot, it was always fun to hang out with Mayan folks because you would sit here and try to speak Spanish, and they'd be like, you know. Well, they do. And if you hang out with Mayans, they want you to speak Mayan. And they like to teach Mayan words.
Sure.
Which, Joey, don't get mad at me, but to me, Mayan sounds exactly like Klingon. Now, I swear to God, you know? It's like, jaw talk, you know, which means make it a double or something. I don't know, but I have a hard time. And the other problem is most of the time when Mayan folks are teaching me Mayan, alcohol is involved, which, you know. Oh, Dave Rush is telling us Hey, David Mohan, as of today, you can download the new Network Plus Objectives.
008.
Does that mean, I guess that means we're in the clear to talk about it, huh?
I think I want
I'm
confirmation.
not actually, okay.
I want confirmation.
All right, well,
If you can download them, Dave, let me know. And then I will happily talk about Network Plus all day long, because guess what I've been doing for the last 6 months?
Yeah. And it just keeps getting funnier.
Yay!
And then on top of that, we also have a presentation today.
Right.
We're going to be talking about being an introvert in today's networking world. And by networking, I don't talk about Ethernet. I mean, connecting with people and defining what networking is. So we got a fun little presentation. So folks, normally we start at 2 Central Daylight Time and run till 3. I have a hard time imagining that this is going to run, not going to run past 3. So we're probably going to have a longer chat today.
Yeah.
Is that
no
okay
problem.
for you,
Yeah,
Ben?
sure.
All right.
No problem.
So not going to hurt anything. All right. So we just have so many new faces, I'm going to do a competition.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll go let you answer while I'm scrolling through and coming up with some kind
So
of fun.
Silvio Ferreira at 214, unless of course you're Portuguese, and then it would be pronounced differently, but there you go. What is data encapsulation? Data encapsulation is the way networking works, essentially. Data is created at a certain OSI layer, like say TCP segment. The payload is a segment, and then it gets encapsulated, put into an IP packet at layer 3 with headers and destination and source and port numbers and that sort of thing. And then it gets encapsulated again at layer 2 to be able to place it on the wire or wirelessly or wherever in a frame to go off to its destination. So that encapsulation happens at multiple layers and with multiple processes. And at the end, when the receiving machine gets the frame, it then does the decapsulation, right? Which it strips off the frame, then it gets the IP packet, will strip off the IP packet, headers and footers and all that stuff to get to the TCP segment, which is the meat of what it's trying to get to.
Or the UDP datagram.
Or the UDP datagram, yes.
Anytime you put data in data, you have data encapsulation. A lot of times, I mean, Scott certainly answered it in terms of the purest answer, but a lot of times when we talk about encapsulation, we're often talking about VPN tunnels is the other place where we tend to see that. I'm not arguing with you at all. I completely agree with your answer, but a lot of times the zeitgeist tends to point towards other stuff. And while you are technically correct, you have no friends. So it's more of a VPN thing, Here, Dave Rush.
I don't know. Okay, so here's why it was so trippingly off my tongue, is because I was literally on my way over here writing about maximum transmission units.
Was it?
MTUs.
Was it trippingly on the tongue?
And it's specifically the objective, which I can talk about
It
now.
offends
Talks about
me to the very soul.
encapsulation and decapsulation.
Periwig pated fellow terra passionate adders to very rags to split the ears of the groundlings, for the most part, are incapable of nothing but inexplicable brown shows and noise. You think you're the only Shakespeare person around here?
Wow.
That's right.
Smoking.
Steam heat.
Thank you, Dave, for the confirmation. So you can ask us questions about the N1008 Objectives, which have made their beautiful debut on the world stage today. So we are officially out of the NDA, out from under the NDA, and can
Yeah,
talk
this is
about what we
exciting.
want.
I did not. There was no announcement or anything, so we're hearing this.
I didn't turn on my email. There might have been an announcement. That's also a running joke. I emailed you 5 times. I didn't open my email.
It's like,
No, I don't have 90,000 unopened email messages in my inbox. I got it down to 89,000.
oh, good.
But Bob Noob, I will answer your email.
You put the extra coffee on the floor.
Ah, what an idiot. What an idiot.
Ooh, this is a hot coffee pot here.
Wow, yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
So Noah Duval at 214. Oh, by the way, if you click the little three dots. You can turn the timestamp on for the chat. And also, if you go from top chat to live chat, you'll actually see more information. Top chat is...
This is all in your chat window there in YouTube, guys.
Right. YouTube will censor things if you have it on top chat, but live chat will show you everything. But the timestamp, because we're always a little bit behind the end of the feed, I'll actually say when a question comes up, and you can follow to see whether we've skipped your question or whether we just haven't gotten to it yet. So there you go. And I've completely, and now it's scrolled. Wow. Okay, at 2:14, Noah Duval says, "Hey Mike, big fan, I'm watching your courses currently."
All right.
That's awesome. And Farouk at 2:14 also says, "Mike, have you ever used Li-Fi technology?"
No, I've heard of it. It's light instead of radio waves.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, that came out like 10 years ago as a concept. I've never seen. Here, I'm gonna do here's the ultimate test of a piece of technology. Here you guys go. Ready? Here's the Mike Meyers secret. Is a piece of technology real? All you have to do is go to eBay and type in whatever the technology is. Books. And radiators. And girls' workout clothes. Okay.
I'd say Li-Fi is probably not ready for prime time.
Yeah, I don't think it ever actually really took off. Now here's the thing, if you know that it has, this is a great opportunity for you to go, no, Mike, Li-Fi is a thing. Let me show you some examples. And then send them to me here. Go ahead and just send them to my email. My email address is michaelm@totalsem.com. So all you have to do is send me an email. I'd be very interested to, there's always new technologies that get underneath my radar. So I'm always appreciative of anybody who gives me some insight on there. So michaelm@totalsem.com. Scott?
Well, Alexander Alter Ego at 2:16 says, "Your Sec Plus 601 is really good, I have to say, so far." What are you on, page 1?
Yeah, right. Dumbledore dies on page 328.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Dang it. Hate it when he does that. Spoils the whole thing. Derek Franklin says, "Ethernet connection is the best extrovert experience we can have." There's a lot to unpack in that statement.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where he's going with that.
Yeah. And 2:16.
But Derek, don't be afraid to say smart aleck commentary here. It's all
absolutely, absolutely. Bob Noob says, "Today's my birthday. Someone sing me a song."
What do you want to sing him?
Probably Happy Birthday.
You don't want to do the Happy Bar Mitzvah Moishi?
I don't know that one.
Neither do I.
Well, that's probably not what we should sing then.
Pick a key, dude. I'm with you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob Noob. Happy birthday to you.
Without a shirt. You know, between the two of us, we can keep a note in a bucket, you know?
You know, we're like sailors. We die at sea. Wait.
You have a, wait.
You have a voice like a sailor.
You're a very promising singer. You should promise to stop singing.
So there you go, Bob. It's your serenade for the day.
Seriously, happy birthday, Bob. You only be 21 once.
Daniel Ocampa. You guys are great together.
Thanks. Yeah, Daniel, we've actually got your presentation. Daniel, it was you who asked about the... It was Daniel?
It was Daniel, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said on Monday, this presentation's for you, young man. And the funnier part was, I did find that old article I was looking for. Mm-hmm. Then I found a few more. You know, There's actually some interesting stuff to talk about. I wanted to make sure to answer Daniel's question, but we could take it further. To be introverted, which
or
is
not to be
that is the question. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. I bounced on his knee or something like that, whatever. Did you ever see Jean-Luc, who plays Jean-Luc Picard? Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
So Patrick Stewart, long before Star Trek The Next Generation, he was a extremely respected Shakespearean actor.
Sure.
And him doing Hamlet, man.
You know, he's a
Wow.
great
I mean,
actor.
you know. Willie Dort. Okay, but okay. So let's get back.
All right,
Zam. Now, what did Sam do? That's
89K ha,
89K. Ha.
I guess.
Does that mean something?
I said, wow, thank you. Now on live chat. Excellent.
All right, he's here.
Because Zam was here on Monday too.
Yes, I remember Zam.
Yeah.
I think it's Zam is my quick guess.
You think Zam, not Exam?
If he's Chinese, it would be Zam would be the proper pronunciation.
Okay.
Zam, correct us here for us, will you? So I can say your name right.
You're welcome, Silvio.
Because I called Tolowit for so long.
And we all know it's Tulowit.
I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Ah. See, I answered that with a single syllable word. That
What?
way.
Who?
Who's on first? Right.
Third base.
I don't know. Still the funniest comedy routine I think I've ever seen. All right. All right. I can't even read anymore. I'm laughing too much.
Give me the rest of your coffee.
No. Oh, well, there you go. As moderator, YouTube sends me full bios on all participants. This is true, by the way.
Where do they get
so-
those full body scans, though? That's not.
I don't know.
You
It's
know?
pretty impressive.
A little invasive for my taste. I mean, people from like Europe who give that stuff away, I understand. But
Joey's from Belize. Go ahead. Tell us about Belize, Mike.
you just need a little bit of alcohol to be able to speak Mayan, and I did. I'm Belizean Mayan, but enough for me. We're all here for nerd juice. No, it's all good. I got to tell you, Belize, especially the outlying, the Ks, the outlying islands, I've had some parties there, to say the least.
By that means tea parties.
Yes, that was it. Drinking tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, quite.
But I love Belize. It's a wonderful. Okay, here's the one quick Belize, and Joey, you already know the story, so don't say it out loud. Okay. Wait,
Okay.
no one else can hear him anyway. This is a Belize story. all
Okay,
right?
I'm
So
ready.
you're
I'm
out on
ready
the
for it.
fishing boat, and you got an hour before you get to where the fish are. So you're just sitting there talking with the crew, right?
Right.
And this joke always comes out. So this vacationing guy and a Belizean man are talking to each other. And the Belizean man's just kind of sitting there, fishing, enjoying a little beverage and all that. And the tourist guy goes, Belizean man, why do you act like this? Why don't you get motivated so you get a great job and make tons of money, and then one day you can retire, and then you can fish and enjoy
Right? Right. Exactly.
Belize is a very laid-back place. It was the only place where I have sat in a restaurant, and I'm going to actually throw out the double quotation mark, restaurant, all right? We
Scare
were
quotes.
the only people in this restaurant. It had plenty of beer, and I ordered just a couple of Caribbean lobsters, which you can get like bologna here in Houston, right? And it took them 2 hours, and I didn't care.
Wow.
Because we were in Cape Cocker, which was one of the outlying islands, and there's just time takes on a whole new meaning in Belize, man.
Nice.
I put braids in my hair. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. That's Jamaica, but. All right, let's get back to work.
Okay,
We
all
have
right.
people asking serious questions.
224
Scott.
Avenat. Do you have any info on CompTIA Data Plus certification to be launched next year? Question mark.
Not a word. I've heard it. I've heard that it was under development.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. We usually get invited to various little show and tell conferences and webinars and
we
stuff.
do
and
get invited, but our publisher, McGraw-Hill, wants to keep us, chained to our desk. So, that's why the manacle is there around your ankle, bud.
that's what that's for. It goes off every once in a while.
Yeah, that's because you walk away from your home.
Oh,
And then the helpful men come.
The helpful men, the ones in blue?
Yeah, they come help
They're
you
so sweet.
figure out where the hell your house is. Moving on.
It was, yes. Oh, and I just super scrolled, so there we go. See, if you had this open at the same time. All right, Avocado 225. Is there a maximum number of devices that can be on Wi-Fi in an area, busy places like a convention, or is it just a matter of how many APs you have?
Neither. It does depend. It really, I guess the number one thing it's going to depend on is the number of channels that you have open and whether you're running. Well, AX makes a big difference in crowds
Because it's designed specifically to alleviate the whole like overloading.
Yeah, well, I mean, 802.11 AC when it came out, really had some interesting things on how it dealt with itinerant clients, people who came in and out. But it really took 802.11 AX to deal with how multiple clients are worked off. So number one, it's going to make a difference what technology you're having. So you're probably going to, if you're running Wi-Fi 6, that's going to make a difference. The number of channels that your AP has. So the number of channels, the number of radios and antennas is a direct link to the MIMO or MU MIMO support it can handle, right? And then, well, those are the biggies right there, more than anything else. There is no 802.11 maximum number of users. There is no top number that can never be obtained kind of a thing. Like 640K RAM, which we'll never get to.
No.
But it does come into play quite a bit, not only the access points and the access points ability, but the other big bottleneck, especially when you start running into like stadiums and things like that where people really are, they don't want to use their data plan. They want to use the wireless.
Right.
So you go to a basketball stadium or something like that, and then the big thing you're going to see that makes a big difference is the back-end pipe that, you can have a million APs laying around at all 802.11ax.
But if it's all connected to a
4x4.
14.4 modem?
Nobody knows what you're talking about but me and Dave.
Oh, man.
It's all good. Well, maybe Andre would know too. So there is no maximum number. It's just a matter of what is acceptable bandwidth for the average user.
Okay. And Dave Rush pointed out that, of course, Sir Patrick Stewart was in Excalibur, the greatest Arthurian movie ever made.
He was also in Dune, or the 1984 version of Dune.
That's terrifying.
It's a great movie. We got a new Dune coming out.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. But no Sting in this one.
Not sure what I could say there other than salute.
Rock stars turned actors. They're not all David Bowie, I must say. Or Meatloaf.
Or Meatloaf.
Okay.
Let me sleep on it.
Aldry is here. Win87. Hey. Good to see you. Zam.
I am. Green eggs and ham.
Nice. I get the feeling you had to use that before.
I think so too.
Or she. I don't know.
Look what I found in the park, in the dark. We'll take him home. We'll call him Clark. Well, you have kids too. Yeah. It's like the amazing what you get to read. Yeah. All right, come on. Now, guys, seriously, let's keep this serious here.
Okay, here we go.
Sharad Martin. I'm 3 chapters away from finishing N1007. Should I just get... No. Sharad, you're doing fine. Keep the 007 material. Go ahead and immediately you need to take the exam. Nobody cares what version of an exam you took. A lot of people care when you took an exam, but no interviewer is ever going to go, oh, for you doing the N10008 or the N10007?
7? Liar! Ah!
Yeah, I might have some.
We probably just blew somebody's speaker.
That's right.
Sorry. Oops. Erase.
I can be meaner than that. Okay, Google, what's my name?
So cruel.
All right, let's keep going. Bacon toast, good scuba diving in Belize. In fact, that's why I go to Belize, the scuba diving. Belize has amazing scuba diving. The famous blue hole.
Yeah.
I went down to 165 feet, man. That's deep. That's like Tarzan deep. There's very, very large fish down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Fish can survive that deep?
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends the fish, right? But, yeah, so there was the blue hole, the aquarium, It was great. Wonderful diving in Belize.
Excellent. Good scuba diving. Okay, we're there. Andrew Hutz. There we go. Good advice. As an introvert, work remotely. It's always fun.
And carry a big shtick.
Ha ha ha. See, Tullowit got it. His first modem was...
Because you're old, all right? Move on, Mr. Baudrate. We got a bunch of new people here who are like bored to tears as you talk about 14.4 and 28.8.
I super scrolled in case you're curious.
Oh, all right, because we have some good stuff.
Yep, we do.
When we flew into Belize, the departure schedule became meaningless. That's right, we used to fly
We used to fly.
into Belize on Continental and then United. They would fly in like twice a day. It was great. And getting to Belize from Houston is like faster than getting to Chicago.
Well, it's a lot closer.
Yeah.
All right, so Win 87 at 229. I have a question. I'm studying for Network Plus. I have no experience in IT. Apart from having over 15 years of working experience, I feel a soapbox coming. How difficult is it to find a job with only CompTIA Network Plus? That's a good question.
The world needs techs, and there is a very, very high demand for techs. The demand for techs today is probably higher than it's ever been before. I have had some substantial business offers of a panic-stricken United States government trying to come up with a way to create, in their words, 250,000 IT security technicians, to the point where I can't go into much detail, but I can tell you that there's a lot of government, privates here in the United States, government, private sector systems that are coming together to start bringing technicians in. Right. Okay? So let's just start with understanding there's a demand. The trick here, is that you don't need any certifications. You need 0 certifications. The reason we get certifications is not to give you a job. And if that's the reason you're going for certs, then you're making a mistake. We get certifications to open the door for us. We have certifications to put a pin on our chest to let potential employers know what our skill sets are. So can you get a job with Network Plus? I can do better than that. You can get a job without any certifications whatsoever. Now, the reason you're getting certifications, like most people do, the A+, Net Plus, Security Plus as their first 3 certs, is as a way to show your motivation, your competence, and your diligence towards this particular technology. And that's what it's there for. And the reason this makes me nervous is because the last thing I want to hear you go is, oh, I'm going to get the A+, then the Net Plus, and then I'll go looking for a job. Go get a job, man. Just go get a job. There are 10 trillion entry-level jobs out there. Go grab one. You use certifications for your next job, not the one you're trying to get right now. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, and I must say, Tom Pinkerton nailed it.
What did Tom Pinkerton say? Mike is going to say the certification is not getting you. It doesn't. It's not what certifications are for, man.
Well, and see Bacon Toast at 231, just following up as well. I just got a help desk job this week with no IT work experience and no certs. I think a lot of it depends on your location. That's very true.
It does. What really the number one reason that people don't get jobs in IT is they live in a place that has no work, right? I've been living in this small town in western Pennsylvania. It's like, well, move to Pittsburgh. It's like, oh, well, no, I can't do that. I like living with my mom. Okay, well then fine. Go
right.
Be a plumber. Plumbing is a great job. I gotta tell you.
Plumbers make more than you do.
A good plumber can make ridiculous amounts of money.
Right.
Ridiculous. Multiple 6-figure income. Now they work their butts off, but
sure.
No, absolutely.
So 231, Ardeen, passed Security Plus. Awesome, congratulations. And studying for CCNA.
Very good. Well done, Ardeen.
Ardeen.
No, you're not pronouncing that right. Arden. Okay, stop looking at me like that. It hurts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, guys, especially you new folks, stick around. We're going to be giving stuff away here in a little bit, so don't go away. And I have a wonderful presentation on introverts and networking too. So right now we're just trying to get the biggest chunk of questions knocked out. Daniel Ocampo, is there actually a difference between DDR3 and PC3? No. They're two different nomenclatures that define the same technology. PC3, am I doing that right? Okay, yeah. Woo, I get nervous sometimes. There is no difference. So basically, you take a DDR value, so let's keep it simple. So you have a DDR3, can I lie and just say a 600?
Well, that would be a lie, but yeah, you can say that.
All right, well, let me do, so a DDR3 10800.
Okay.
You would agree with that one?
I don't know, I haven't seen DDR3 in like 10 years.
No, it's not been that long. 6. I'm just trying to do something that makes the number easy, and you're making it hard.
We've written 3 other books since then.
Yeah, it's like I've slept. It's just a different numbering system. All you got to do is you take the DDR number, whatever it is, multiply it times 8, and that's the PC number. So if you have DDR3 600, then it would be PC3 4800.
So, and why, right? Why do you have 2 numbers? We have always assumed that it's pure marketing, because you can say the PC number is 8 times bigger than the DDR number, and therefore it's a better RAM.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be PC.
Oh, that was painful. Okay. Oh, Bob Noob. Let's do a competition. I'm going to fall asleep.
What?
I know, right?
I think Bob Noob finds your snappy repartee lacking. A bit sneezy, as it were.
Apparently so.
To hold the mirror up to nature. Come on, what do we got going here, man?
People answering.
Oh, that's right. Norm Macdonald died.
Yeah, sad.
Kareem L. Martin, on exception, anyone under DOD 8140, they will ask. Kareem, that has not been my experience. And certainly under DOD, either 8570 or 8140. So Kareem, you're saying something that I don't experience. We work directly here with the U.S. Army, lots of different military, and no one has ever asked what exam you've taken. However, Kareem, this means that you and I should probably have a conversation because you've had some experience. So Kareem, here's my email address. Kareem, send me an email, michaelm@totalsem.com, and say, oh, Mike, here's the experience I had where people were actually asking about the tests. You know, let me that was too fast. Here, Kareem, I'm going to leave it up for a second so you can actually read it.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, I'm going to leave it
Drop
back
it.
there.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Next question.
So 236, Silvio has another question, a follow-up question, talking about Wi-Fi at events. How can you offer internet and keep it safe?
You can't. I mean, that's the easiest answer, is you can't. Because there's always somebody who can do something mean. Did I say that out loud?
You did not.
Okay. So there's a few things you can do. One of the things is that most of the SOHO wireless access points that are available today work really well in small situations like a coffee shop or something where you want to provide internet, but at the same token have some type of protections. Now, I know on the CompTIA A Plus and Net Plus, they have all these things, you know.
But I mean, the latest
MAC isolation and things like that. What I will say is that wireless isolation is a very good thing to do. It's built into dang near every SOHO wireless access point available out there. And it's just a matter of turning something on that most people don't turn on.
So what does wireless isolation do for you, Mike?
Okay. So when you turn on wireless isolation, what you do is you create a connection between the wireless access point and every client that comes in. But even though they're on the same network ID, they're on the same broadcast domain, all that, with wireless isolation turned on, they cannot see each other. This is a big deal and not that hard to do, and you can just go ahead and set that up. The other thing, if you're still running WPA2, which most of us are, although WPA3 is coming along quickly these days, is that there are anti-handshake tools that you can already put out there. Like, for example, you can have a wireless access point that's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm seeing a bunch of deauth commands coming in, therefore I'm going to ignore them all. Right. Which is about the only way to hack wireless these days. Hard is by using a deauth attack. And that's something we want to avoid. So those would be the couple things. The other big thing, and nobody likes doing this, is to go ahead and put an aggressive password on your wireless network, which is also, by the way, you should probably separate that with a VLAN, which again, just about every SOHO wireless access point around these days pretty easily allows you to do. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create like two SSIDs. You're going to have one regular SSID for the local folks who are doing whatever they're doing, but then you're going to have a public SSID. And that one's going to be very tightly controlled. You're going to have a substantial firewall on that that you may not be bothering with your regular in-house folks. So those would be the things. The number one thing you need to do is buy a good wireless access point. Right now, Asus and Netgear are still some of my favorites.
Absolutely. So Guillermo Moreno asks at 2:37, so that tells you where we're at. It's 2:46, we're about 9 minutes behind.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Mike, when does A+ retire?
Oh.
A+.
I thought he said something else was going to retire like me. Okay.
You've been retiring a long time, my friend.
I'm in a retired posture. When does A+ retire? We don't know. There is some noise coming out. So I'm hearing early next year, very late this year. What have you heard, Scott?
If we go by the typical 3-year cycle of CompTIA stuff, sometime like in early spring is when they'll debut the new objectives, and they generally give another 6 months after that for people who are currently studying for the old exam to finish their studies and take the exam. So I'd say we have at least a year before,
probably about a year.
Before
I'll
A+
go with that.
retires.
I'll go with that.
But they haven't said anything official, so we don't know. And the things that I do know, I can't tell you because
it's pure speculation
and I'm under
conjecture.
NDA. Yeah.
And even that we don't know.
Yeah, the date I don't know for sure. Okay.
Kareem L. Martin.
Right.
Do you think now
Martin,
that
yeah.
I said Kareem?
Kareem A. Martin.
That's what I said. Kareem Abdul Martin. Kareem Abdul Jabbar.
Okay. Do you think that now that cybersecurity insurance is a thing, does that motivate security focus? i.e., do you think being a security tech would be, or studying to be a security tech would be a good career path, is what I'm guessing he's going with there. And I think it's going to be about passion.
It's a very interesting question, Kareem, what you're asking. Cybersecurity insurance, all I can do is you can go back about 40 years ago. And if you go back, we had like malpractice insurance for doctors, automobile insurance for automobile owners. And this is my opinion, okay? This is not a fact. But what happened is they created monsters. Like here in the United States, where health insurance was based on employers, ended up creating these monsters. So back in the early 1980s, we saw a big push for legal insurance. I don't know if you remember any of this, Scott, but it's like, oh, well, you get arrested, all your lawyer fees will pay for all that if you pay for this insurance. And it got shut down because the legal industry was like, we cannot allow this nightmarish open-ended thing like American health insurance. So they stopped it cold. I have heard noise about IT security insurance, but I'm hearing the same stuff that the underwriters are like, what's there? It's open-ended. If I charge you a premium, I could end up in a situation where I'm literally paying for forever. And that settlements are very difficult to do in IT security. We're talking breaches, really, is what we're talking about.
We're talking breaches. We're talking about
and exposure of PII. Those are
Sure.
the big things. And
Personally identifiable information.
yeah, like somebody gets into a website and they find out, Scott Jernigan's social security number. So the reality is that nobody's willing to do it. So I don't think, I've seen a couple of little things out there, but nothing serious. It's not like we have farmers insurance, IT security insurance.
Right.
And I don't think anybody's going to allow it to happen. And, in kind of a way, that's a good thing. Because as from an individual standpoint, you're going to look at this and go, oh, but I want to be able to sue somebody if, it will, in my opinion, keep costs very much down because it does. I'm sorry that you got on my mensgreatpoloshirts.com website and somebody hacked me and got in and got your phone number. But really, Scott,
I shouldn't have been buying from there?
What's the quantitative cost of you doing this? Nobody knows.
Right.
So that's why I feel that cybersecurity insurance is not a thing. I have not seen anyone substantive who does that.
All right, so hope that answered your question, Kareem. Avocado.
But does that? Well, hold on. I don't mean to. I'm sorry, Scott, because he's got a follow up to it that says that motivates security focus. Security focus has never been, with the GPRS. What's that European? GPRS.
The demand for security professionals is huge.
Yeah, and it's being handled in a more de jure way, as a more de facto way, as opposed to de jure, because what little laws we have out there have already proved to be completely useless. Sarbanes-Oxley is a joke. HIPAA is mainly a joke. You know what HIPAA does well? You got HIPAA, the health insurance.
Splash water back and forth in the river. Oh, not HIPAA.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
What HIPAA does well, and what it's done well now for almost 10 years, is it makes people who deal with personal health insurance really think about what they're doing. And that's my opinion, as what the biggest thing that either Sarbanes-Oxley or HIPAA has done is they made people really think about it. The only other one to that would be the PCI DSS folks.
Right, the credit card.
But they can control it. I'm Visa. If you don't do this, you're fired.
Right.
Okay. So
it's the European standard is the GDPR.
GDPR. Yes.
Yeah. General Data Protection Regulation.
But that's never going to do anything. I'm not aware of any legislation that has come out because of GDPR. Nothing substantial, at least. But it makes people think, and that's the important part. Is being aware of security.
All right. Sounds good. So 239 Avocado asks, is the knowledge in the ITIL 4 certifications worth the very pricey exam cost? Certain industries.
This is going to be tough.
ITIL is absolutely essential.
There's a lot of people who really, really expect it.
Yeah.
But on the same token,
it's big.
It is big.
Yeah. So the ITIL certifications, this is more of a enterprise data structures kind of thing, how all of the enterprise components work, how you do secure software development, all these different aspects of... I
was just checking the time. Go ahead.
All these different aspects of how a enterprise entity functions and creates product. It's huge. It's getting bigger in the U.S. It's my understanding it's like very large.
It's a European, UK.
But it is definitely growing.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, very much so.
Is it worth it though? I don't know. Avocado, if you are applying for a job and they say they want it and then they pay you because you have it,
then it's worth it.
Then it's absolutely worth it, of course.
Right.
Steve G, I like giveaways.
I know, Steve. We're getting
there.
Thank you, Avocado.
Love having both Mike and Scott at the same time. Yeah.
There we go. Steve is not letting go. Giveaways rock.
Steve is ready for some giveaways. He's got
Clearly.
better,
He's like hanging out in Canada. What do you expect?
That's right. Letterkenny comes on in like 10 minutes.
I know. Come on. Yeah, like and subscribe. So we don't actually make any money off this show, not directly, but what we do have is great information that comes out that if you like and subscribe, it goes up in the Google rankings and people are able to find things better, et cetera, et cetera. So like it if you like it, and subscribe if you want notification that we're coming back on. So there you go. And I super scrolled, so there we go. Apparently, there we go is what I'm saying today.
What? Stop. I'm disappointed that Mike mentioned the farmer's insurance without one of them humming the jingle. What's a farmer's insurance jingle? Farmer's insurance makes your day.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Something like that.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yeah.
Here you go. You ready? Okay, you guys ready? Everybody's going to have to sing this with me. Here we go. You ready? I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now. 877 cash now. That doesn't stick in your brain? I don't even know who the company is. I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now. It is burned in my brain. I'm lost. You know, Scott, this is why we can't have giveaways, because you just go on these weird-ass tangents, man. Let's answer some folks' questions.
Okay, all right. DDR3 is... See, Bacon Toast agrees with me. DDR3 is ancient.
It's ancient. I don't... You see them in a couple laser printers every now and then.
That's true. Actually, we upgraded an older printer.
Guillermo Moreno, they won't ask you PC rating on exam. They used to.
But DDR rating is what you'll get. More likely than not.
Lar Kerwan.
Yeah. So the all-in-one...
Are there any chapters in the CompTIA A+ book that focus on the 1001 exam and then the 1002? Lar, I started writing these books 20 some odd years ago because McGraw-Hill came out of nowhere and said, we want to create this all-in-one book. And for decades, CompTIA was notorious with A+, even though it was 2 exams, the amount of overlap that those 2 exams had was at certain times, go back to like 501, it was more than 30%. And you would have a topic and you couldn't tell if it was beyond the X01 or the X02. And part of the reason I got into this is because McGraw-Hill wanted me to write a all-in-one book. So, and because there was overlap for decades, literally decades, I told people, don't even try to separate the exams. It's a waste of time. Starting with the 901 and certainly with the 1000X exams, CompTIA has now done a pretty good job of separating them. And I have tried twice with McGraw-Hill to go, let's dump the regular book and let's just go to 2 books. Now, we've done what are known as split books before. And McGraw-Hill doesn't want me to do that. They're always going to want 1 book.
So the way that we get around this, and Mike presents the knowledge in the A+ book so that you can pick and choose which exam you want to focus on, is there's a super header in every chapter that says, well, there's a historical, conceptual, and then there's a test specific, but it'll say something like test specific or 10,000, or 1001 or 1002. So it'll tell you which content, if it wasn't really obvious, you're studying for. And then there's a map in Appendix A that goes through the objectives and tells you where to find everything. So
and then even if you had, let's say you had perfect separation. From a learning standpoint, I find that's ridiculous. Where, like, you want to do the 1001 questions on hard drives, where you're going to be talking about different SATA versions and, you know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then in the 1002, we're going to be talking about partitioning and formatting. So from an instructional standpoint, how do I separate that? And the answer is I don't. I won't. It's like, let's talk about, okay, you got the hard drive plugged in, okay, fine. Let's ignore hard drives now and move on to another topic because you want it perfectly split between 1001 and 1002. I don't think it'd be done. Can I have your coffee cup, please?
It's still half full.
I offered.
You did. You did. Thank you, though. Okay, so at
I have
2:41,
a custom settlement and I need cash now.
it's 3 o'clock. Do you want to do it? Is this your call for a?
877 cash now.
I think this is a call for a
I
giveaway.
guarantee you that half of the people listening knew that jingle. Just
I couldn't
because
even
you listen
sing
to
the
nothing but NPR.
He's not wrong, you know. J.G. Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth.
See, Dave got it.
See, I told you.
Dave was there, man.
All right, so we got a bunch of new folks who really want to do a competition.
So,
Scott.
all right, here are the rules on the competition. Okay, first, it's not fair.
It's not a fair competition.
We try. We really do.
So I'm going to put a question up. It's going to be a multiple choice question. You read the question and you write out the answer. Do not write out A, B, C, or D. Okay? Don't do that. You have to write out enough so I know which one you're answering on. Make sure that you've changed your chat window to live chat, not top chat, because that's definitely going to affect it. And also keep in mind that just because you think you answered first, that doesn't mean it shows up on my screen that way.
Depends on latency, it depends on how far away you are from us, etc.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a competition right now. And so here's the fun part. If your name looks new to me, you are going to get extra, what do I call it?
Bonus points.
Something like that. So anybody can compete. Of course, David Mohan can. Oh my God, David, the t-shirts came out amazing. I can't wait to get you your t-shirt. They really look good.
Cool.
They look really
Looking forward
good.
to it.
I hope you like black, David, because that's the color your t-shirt is.
Can have any color.
As long as it's black. Thank you, Henry Ford. But anyway, let's go ahead and start this competition. So everybody get ready. And I'm going to go ahead and put up a question now. All right. So here we go. And this is from my practice test. All right. Jose is upgrading the memory on his laptop. The laptop has 2 slots for RAM, but one of them is currently being occupied. He checked the qualified vendor list to ensure compatibility. After installing the new stick of RAM, BIOS reports only the original amount of memory. What should Jose do next? So basically, he bought some new RAM, snapped it in. He knows that it's legit, but when he snaps it in, so let's say he had 4 gigs of RAM, he snaps in a new 8 gig stick, and instead of getting 12, because he had 4 before plus 8, now he only has 4. So, what do we do to fix this? So I'm going to look. Check for any patches of Microsoft. No, I doubt that. Replace all of the RAM. I'm not saying that isn't right, but it could happen. Reseat the new stick of RAM sounds right to me. Check your virtual memory settings. Okay. I think this one's pretty easy. Wouldn't you agree, Scott?
I would.
This is just reset the new stick of RAM. So guys, this is the actual Total Seminars practice test engine. And we work really hard to make this really easy. The answer is reseat the RAM in a situation like this. Okay. I completely agree. Reseat the RAM. Is anybody arguing with that?
Very few.
Okay.
I like Avocado's answer best.
Is Avocado the new guy?
No. I like Avocado's answer the best because it was buy a new laptop. Yeah.
No, what you do is you jack up the mouse and slide a new laptop underneath.
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right,
Yeah.
Scott, give us a winner, man.
Well, the first person up on reseating the RAM
Now remember,
has also passed. So, Bob, you get kudos for being first, which is awesome.
Who's our winner, Scoot? Call the ball. Wow, you're going to go way down. Is this person not new?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to go with, you guys ready? So we're looking for new faces. So I'm going to give this to Kevin Mulder. Kevin, M-O-U-L-D-E-R. Kevin Mulder, you are the winner of today's competition. Kevin, in order to claim your prize, you need to send an email to KathyY@TotalSem.com. That's Kathy with a K and 2 Y's. KathyY@TotalSem.com. Kevin, in that email, you must put your YouTube name. So whatever name you're using here, which is Kevin Mulder, that must be in the body of the email. And then next, just tell Kathy which practice exam you wish to have. And Kathy will send this to you. So Kevin Mulder, congratulations to you. Well done.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Look at all these people doing
I know
J.G. Wentworth.
Tons of people answered this stuff right. Dave. All right, I'm scrolling back up now, since we had a competition. The excitement, the thrills, the chills. Do you want to do your presentation now, or do you want to answer some more questions?
Let's answer a couple more questions.
Okay.
I think we're going to have a longer presentation today.
Okay, so 243
And
is...
it probably had like 6 new people just sign off because we
Didn't.
competition.
Oh, could be.
Of course, we may have another competition, but today. But
You want to answer that one? Or we can go down here to Noah.
No. Young Kamen.
Mike, when did you start going bald? Wait, you started going bald?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either. Can't you look at?
So,
very-
young Kamen
Yes.
is an extremely unattractive person, just like kind of terrifyingly unattractive. It's one of the first people I've ever met that actually wears a paper bag with holes in it. And young Kamen sometimes, is angry about his situation or her situation and just has to throw it back at me like that because I am Mike Meyers. El guapo.
El guapo.
El guapo.
Oh.
Yo tengo un mustacho muy guapo. About 19, young Kamen. Hey, young Kamen, by any chance, I'm going to ask, I used to know a bunch of Kamens in southern Indiana. By any chance, young Kamen, are you from southern Indiana? That would blow my mind if you were.
Okay, so Noah Duval at 243 asks, I'm in this thing called the National Cyber League. Dave says that several folks have answered, Noah. I'm stuck on cryptography. Do I need to learn binary, hexadecimal, etc., to get into cybersecurity?
Yes.
Yeah, and then as Dave mentioned, lots of people have answered, and apparently the answers were good, and there we go. At 244, Rahabar Buyan.
Here come the balloons. It's the 1 millionth person's name you've destroyed. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I'm so
It's not like I
ashamed.
could.
Okay, so
Rahabar. I apologize. I'm doing it to you too.
how come 802.11AC is backward compatible when we cannot use 802.11AC WAP and an 802.11n desktop? Nick, given that both can support 5 gigahertz.
Because 802.11n was the first Wi-Fi version to support, well, technically 802.11a supported 5 gigahertz.
Not technically, it did.
No, it did. The problem is the way 802.11n was, in my opinion, the weirdest Wi-Fi version that ever existed. And I don't even remember the names. Remember those different modes you had to do with 802.11? There was like native and all these different modes. 802.11ac is very much backwardly compatible with most modes of 802.11n. There are certain modes of 802.11n that, like for example, are only 2.4 gigahertz. There are certain versions of 802.11n that put a weird flag signal in every packet that everybody else has, and not only AC but also AX has said that was a stupid thing, we shouldn't have done it, we're ignoring it. So you can use 802.11ac in an 802.11n desktop, but you may have to reconfigure the 802.11n NIC, or you may have to tell the wireless access point that there are certain modes, 802.11n modes, that need to be dumped.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, when 802.11n was properly configured, because 802.11n was the first one that did MIMO, and when it was, oh my God, it was a screamer. It's so fast and powerful. And people forget that. MIMO is, give me a PC word. You're useless.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. MIMO is awesome.
As soon as you said, give me a PC word, my mind went to the gutter.
The only problem with MIMO is that it's not multi-user, right? So,
Right.
the WAP can only do this with one client at a time.
Right.
But 802.11ac is backwardly compatible with 802.11n. Most modes of 802.11n.
Right. So 248, Algerie asks, I apologize if I said or asked, but did you have anything on the Data Plus certification from CompTIA? And when you did ask earlier, we didn't. But now we do, because Dave Rush is busily in the back channel posting stuff so that we can actually sound intelligent up here. Well, sort of.
CompTIA is a bit notorious for throwing out new certifications that it hopes catches on, and if they don't catch on, it tends to ignore them, which is unfortunate. Certain RFID Plus was a darn fine little certification.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It just never got any traction.
Yeah.
Server Plus was a darn fine little certification, but it just never got any traction. So for me, guys, I'm only going to concentrate on certifications that I have some degree of confidence that you can actually get a job and move forward on. And I'm not saying that this Data Plus cannot do that. I don't know enough at this point to move forward on it.
Okay. All right. Tom Pinkerton at 249 asked, what do you think about the CTT Plus certification for someone pursuing a career in teaching IT-related subjects?
Great little certification, not that hard to get. It's actually surprisingly easy certification in my opinion. And if you're going to be an instructor, Tom Pinkerton, I think you should get that.
Yeah.
Tom Pinkerton, do I know you? Click on his icon. Can you click on it from there? No?
Nope, I can't.
Gosh. I know a Tom Pinkerton.
Tom Pinkerton knows us, so there you go. Highlander Ultra, #1 IT guru on earth. Thanks. Oh, wait, the next one. Mike is the man.
You're number 2. You're number 2.
Wow. Okay, those people are answering Josh. Noah, I mean. There's the jingle. Talking of insurance. All right, I'm just scrolling here for... Okay, so at 251, Avocado, talking of insurance, law, and courts. That's a good segue. Have any of the team consulted on a legal case or in a courtroom?
I've consulted on multiple legal cases. I've never been in a courtroom, although I have supported certain government entities that do what's known as a moot court. Are you familiar with this term? Mm-hmm. And I have helped people prepare for moot courts, but I've never been in a courtroom as a witness or an expert any kind. Been in a lot of juries, but that's a different animal.
Were you in the jury, Mike, or were they judging you? Kidding.
No man judges me. I crush your tiny head. Come on.
Okay.
Remember, we have a presentation.
We do. I'm getting there. Okay. Daniel Ocampo, 252. Do you need a Windows Server product key if you don't install the desktop experience? Kind of like ESXi. See, I'm thinking that...
I'm not sure what Daniel's asking.
He retracted the question right above it, which I think would make this make sense.
If you want to play with Windows Server, Microsoft provides for free 180-day evaluation downloads. Sometimes they're 90, sometimes they're 180.
180.
I can't keep track of when they change it. So Daniel, these do not require keys. You download them. They're fully functional for 180 days. And then it's not functional. And then you get another email address and download another copy.
Right. I mean, Microsoft wants you to use Windows Server. So they make it very easy for you to download, play with, stick it in a virtual machine, and learn it. And then employ it into your enterprise. So there you go.
But you definitely, if you're looking at Network Plus and maybe to a lesser degree Security Plus, you probably ought to have a copy of Windows Server laying around, and just to play with a little bit.
Cool. Oh, thank you, Dave. He posted Algerie's a link for Algerie on Data Plus. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Highlander Ultra.
Yes,
You should
thank
get
you.
a Spotify podcast.
Yeah. Kevin Lopez, why did you decide not to do material for the new Cloud Plus, and are you working on material for the new Pen Test Plus? We are definitely looking at the new Pen Test Plus.
And we
keep
also,
in mind, Kevin, you got to be careful. There's a big difference between Mike Meyers not doing it and Total Seminars not doing it.
Right.
And Total Seminars has a broad selection of superb products that do not star me or Scott Jernigan for that matter. And we have superb folks. We are most certainly doing Pen Test Plus
and Cloud Plus.
and Cloud Plus. So just because I personally am not going to be the shining visage, the countenance to put before you.
Yes. But we do have Dr. Michael Solomon.
Yeah.
And we have,
Dr.
come on,
Deb.
amazing Wi-Fi guru,
Bob.
Tom Carpenter.
Tom Carpenter.
We've got great experts out there. So look up. You can find them. Don't tell my marketing people, but sometimes you can go to Udemy and find a sale. Just type like Total, and then put in Pen Test Plus or Total Cloud Plus, and you'll find our courses. So there you go. Dun, dun, dun. You can also buy them directly from us, of course. Okay, so here we go. At 255, our newest winner, Kevin, is there really a big difference between the Network Plus 008 and 007?
Yes.
Yes, there really
Big
is.
difference. The Network Plus 008 definitely has a much stronger enterprise attitude about things. There's more of a hands-on scenario aspect to it than I think there was with 007. The technologies, there's no new technologies in there that we didn't expect.
Right, but I mean the
ISDN.
And
Did they finally take it out? I
They
forgot.
They did.
Yeah, there's no ISDN on 008.
T1 is out. OC3 is out.
Or OCX is out.
Yes.
So,
So there you go.
well, but that's
They
a
left in.
reflection
Hey,
of what's...
you know what? You know what though?
What?
You know what's so awesome about CompTIA and the new Network Plus exam that's debuted in 2021? It still has hubs. I'm not joking. It still has hubs.
From an instructional standpoint,
Hubs have not
I
been
don't
used
think-
in 20 years, Mike.
I don't think that you can understand what a switch does without first seeing a hub. Of course, it's obsolete technology, Scott. I'm not going to challenge you on that. But from an instructional standpoint, showing a hub and then showing a switch, I think is a great eureka moment for most learners. And my buddy Bacon Toast agrees with me. See what he said right there? Mike is right. Bacon Toast.
I think that actually said, that's a lot different than what I did at Noah Duvall.
I can read
thank-
this any way I want.
Right?
There you go, Steve G. Bum, 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 bum.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
All right, so there we go. Bob Noob, so nobody who does certification products creates evergreen products. Evergreen meaning that you just get whatever. A new certification is not an upgrade, right? Like a software thing. It's literally a whole new entity. And so all of us create a whole new set of products. That's us, our competitors, every single last one of us. So there no
okay.
evergreen in certification.
There is evergreen within that certification. And there are certain videos, but not many. Like with the new Network Plus, we reshot, not going to say every video, but
A lot.
the vast majority. Even videos that were technically correct, it was a time to shoot it. So yeah, every now and then you're going to see something. You'll see like a video in particular of mine where I've got an older video, and you can say, oh, well, that's evergreen. How about if we call it almost evergreen? Slightly evergreen.
But what he's asking is, do I have to buy the new product? And the answer is, it's a whole different test.
Absolutely. We need to make money.
There we go.
Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's go ahead and take a few minutes, and I want to talk about my buddy Daniel Acampa. And he had some questions. The question was, and Daniel, if I'm paraphrasing you, I apologize, because I'm definitely paraphrasing you. Daniel was asking a question. He's like, Mike, I want to do networking. This is not computer networking. This is connecting with other people and learning where the good jobs are and that kind of stuff. That kind of networking, not computer networking. And he's like, but Mike, I'm a shy person, which I use as the term introvert, which I don't think is
necessarily the same thing.
I know it's not necessarily the same thing, but let's just say it often goes hand in hand.
Right.
And I didn't want to answer the question on Monday, Daniel, mainly because I was trying to look up an old article that I was from years ago that I really loved. And I did find that old article, but I found some other stuff too. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to give a pretty brief, this should only be about a 10-minute presentation on networking for the introverts. Shall we do this?
Absolutely.
All right, let's make this happen.
Networking for introverts.
All right, so let's go ahead and my high quality PowerPoint presentation here. We're ready to go. So first of all, what is networking, okay? We're not talking about computer networking here, folks. We're talking about people networking. So networking today is about establishing, and please, this is like the most important sentence in the entire thing. Networking today is about establishing meaningful relationships with people to help you further your own career or pursue a venture by collaborating with others. That's what networking is all about. So networking is critically important in today's IT society. So what does networking do for you? Well, I've got some examples. Like, for example, you can find job opportunities or people who can fill roles that you need to hire for yourself. You can make contacts for potential co-marketing opportunities. Pursue learning opportunities through mentorship and mastermind groups. Get into the habit of building professional relationships over the course of your career, and then create new friendships with like-minded people. Networking, I mean, when has networking not been around? I mean, you could go back to 1327 and, you know, Lothar of the Hill people, and, you know, but so all I'm trying to say is that networking is an important thing, and as an introverted person, it can be a challenge. So what we're going to be talking about now that we've defined networking a little bit is we're going to define what that really means to you as an introverted person and how do you go about being successful at it. So let's dive into this beast. All right. So first of all, I just said people networking is not like computer networking. Well, I'm going to take that back. It's a little bit like computer networking.
Take that back, Mike. Take that back.
So people who have information or the power you need, they're kind of like servers, you know? They have resources.
Okay, all right.
And
I
then
can go with that.
people wanting to ask for that information or use that power are kind of like clients, okay?
Okay.
So you can be at a conference or you could be at a meeting or whatever, and there's still opportunities for networking. In fact, one person could be a client or a server or both. This is very important. I should have put a line in here and I didn't do it, is that networking is in its most pure form is a two-way street. I help you, you help me. So the number one thing I always tell people if they want to do some networking is you have to start soft. Do easy things. Like, for example, talking to family. There is absolutely nothing wrong if your uncle is big in IT to ask for a job. It happens all the time. Give me a connection. Give me a connection to the HR department. Give me a connection to your company's website that shows open job offers. There's a lot in there. Friends are the same thing. Co-workers. In fact, most people's networking experience, real networking experience, starts with co-workers. That's been my experience. Usually you have some entry-level job, and there's like a whole bunch of people at a help desk, and they hate their job, and they're all working together to get moved up. Charity connections. This is a big thing that I think people miss on, is that, especially as a new IT person, getting charity gigs. Go work for, you know, I don't want to name charities because my charities may not be your charities. But to go there, because you know what all charities have? IT.
Right.
They've all got it, and they're all desperately in need of some help. And it's just a great way to let people know you're out there. And then any type of religious affiliation. is also a good way to go. So you start soft. You don't have to be all hardcore about this. Just work with the connections you already have. The other big thing is when you're talking about networking is you want to pick your physical locations. So the term you want to use as an introvert is called minimally stimulating environments. Because as an introvert, the last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a party and craziness. And so this is where a lot of times, hanging out in the break room in your office could be a minimally stimulating environment. Conferences. Conferences, I know we're in a bit of a stall right now because of Corona, but as the conferences start to pop back up, it is absolutely important that we think about conferences again. I miss them. I'll be going to Black Hat next year for sure. Another one is YouTube channel comments. Find a topic that you like on YouTube. I'm assuming we all like YouTube. Do you watch YouTube? Seriously, do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I occasionally watch these geeks that come on Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes Friday.
Ignore them.
Yeah.
But that can be a really good place by making commentary, because these are topics of great passion for you. So you make commentary, and then coming back, those people who make those videos tend to
respond to you.
I'm not saying I do it as well as I should, but a lot of people do. And YouTube isn't the only example of this, but I thought that'd be a good one to bring up. And the other one that I find interesting is creating your own events. Finding interest groups, making dinner parties. Now look, hang on. I say dinner parties and everybody starts imagining this big fancy thing. Honestly, some of the best dinner parties I ever had was, some Uber Eats burgers and sitting on a system talking about, whatever it happens to be. Coffee clatches, little types of coffee meets. Those types of things are literally where you can just create your own groups. And the nice part is that even though you're an introvert, you can create the group and then sit in the back. What's that mean?
The YouTube channel comments are very ... interesting and scary.
I'm not sure why, but okay. So the other big thing for networking is online. And this is probably where most introverted people are going to want to at least start. There's no evil in that. LinkedIn is an amazing spot, just not only connecting, but communicating with folks. Again, YouTube, we gave some examples already. Discord channels, Twitter, GroupMe. And I'm just bringing up some of the more popular social media type places. But the thing is that on YouTube, on Discord, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, you can find topics. You see where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. That might be harder to do in the physical world. All right, so let's talk about some of the do's of networking. Number 1, 3-foot rule. What's the 3-foot rule, Scott? Do you know?
Don't get beyond 3 feet. No.
If somebody gets within 3 feet of you, you shake their hand and introduce yourself.
Wow, that's a rule. This is the kind of funny thing, right? You think introvert, seriously shy. So there you go. 3-foot rule. It's like somebody gets 3 feet from me, I'm backing up, man.
We're going to get to that. Hang on. So, and the whole reason you're doing this is you're exchanging information, right?
Yeah.
So, people say business cards are déclasse. They're not. They've never been more popular than they are today.
You could even say that business cards in a network are kind of like the Knicks.
Who said that?
Dr. Quinn.
So a couple more things, and here's for your introverts. Remember, if you're meeting somebody, give them eye contact. Shake their hand. These are really important things to do because you're representing yourself. That doesn't mean that people don't understand that people are introverted. You don't have to go all over the top of things, but you have to do a little bit of this. And then there's always what I call your 3 intro questions. You should have an understanding about where you're going and what you're doing, whatever this meeting, whatever this group, whatever this coffee clutch is, whatever it is, and have some intro questions. I mean, the simplest intro questions, I always love this one. Who the hell are you and why are you here? People crack up on that. Who the hell are you and why are you here? Because it's open-ended and fun and it gives people connectivity.
Okay.
So that's the one is, you know, and other things you can do is, what was the coolest job you've ever had? You know? So you should always have like 3 questions ready to go. The other big thing is quality versus quantity. When you're going to find yourself in a meeting or with people, you don't want to waste your time with people that aren't doing you good. You want quality people that you're connecting with. And the reality is most people can't handle more than about 150 meaningful relationships. And when I say meaningful, like you know their name and you know their spouse's name and you know what they do, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So you should concentrate on those who have legitimately helped you. And the other thing that's also perfectly fine is don't fear dumping those who do not help you. If people aren't giving you a hand, get rid of them. That doesn't mean you have to, you know, I break with thee, I break with thee, I break with thee, and I throw dog poop on their shoes. No, you just
stop calling.
You just stop calling them, right? So what I do as a rule, people are like, well, how do I know that? Who, you know, this guy here is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I actually have his cell phone number. So I use what I call Mike's once every 2 years rule. And basically, if I'm not contacting you once every 2 years, if nothing else, just to touch base or say hello, then I probably ought to get rid of them.
Okay. Lots of salty comments today.
That's all right. They're
fun.
allowed to do
Very
that.
fun.
So the other thing is that networking is a lot easier than you think. The big thing that people need to understand, especially if you're an introvert, is that it's a skill set that takes a little practice. All right? Failure is an option. Look, you're going to go to meetings, you're going to go to a wine thing or something like else, and you're going to pooch it. It's okay. That is normal. Just go back and try it again. You're allowed to fail in these things. Nice thing about networking scenarios is that they are constant. They show up everywhere. And then remember the famous phrase, you can't tell the difference between an extrovert and an introvert who practices.
Right?
They're the same person. And I want to quote a famous guy named Mike Meyers who came up with that.
So, and just to go back a slide, if you would, please. So it's a skill set that needs practice. When I mentioned that I'm shy, that I am an introvert, that I have trouble dealing with people, so I took acting. So I took public speaking. So I took voice. Things that required me to get up there and interact, interface with people, and yeah, it was painful. It is painful, but
especially when you had to unbutton your shirt like that, you know.
Yeah,
that was a different thing. I'm sorry.
That was the dance classes.
That's
Whole
it.
different thing.
Big money. No whammies.
But practice, absolutely. And it also helps if you just don't care. That's the other thing. If you're okay to fail, because the worst they can do is judge you, right? And then you just move on. So if you can let go of the fear, or at least tell yourself that the fear will not control you, then being able to say, hi, I'm Scott Jernigan.
Fear is the mind killer.
And you are happy to meet me.
Absolutely.
You know?
And the other thing is, it becomes fun very, very, very quickly. There are a tremendously large number of introverted people in IT. And I watch all of them do quite well in terms of networking. Mm-hmm. Most of them are more online networkers than anything else. But on the same token, it's not fearful for me to bring them into a public scenario, because everybody in that group is like Detroit Nerd City.
Right.
Myself included.
Yes, Tom Tom Pinkerton at 333 had a good comment there. At our school, the number one feedback we get from employers of IT grads is the lack of soft skills, not the technical skills.
Handshaking and eye contact.
Yeah.
Zipping up your zipper.
Yeah, these are important.
Yeah. It's true. So hopefully, guys, that gave you some insight. Daniel, I hope that you find that interesting, and I hope that addressed some of the questions you might have. Probably the place you ought to start more than anything else in terms of networking is practice. Daniel, are you a friend of mine on LinkedIn? Maybe that might be a good place to start. So please do that, because that absolutely is networking in the most classic sense of the word.
So Dave Rush, a few minutes ago, put up the link to the unofficial, now I'm doing it, the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. It's not our Discord channel. It's not Total Seminars Discord channel. It's actually run by our friend Jose Braden and has moderators who are here in this crowd chatting up like Tullowit. But it's a great place to go.
Is Jose on today?
I haven't seen him yet. It's a great place to go to talk with your fellow nerds. Most of them you will have seen already in the chat, and so they're kind of familiar to you, but this is a good way to just sort of get your feet wet and just smile and go, oh, we're not that scary, because you can just talk with other people that you just met. And it's a nice, easy social setting. It's a lot saltier. I warn you, this show is pretty much G-rated or maybe PG. It gets a little bit different on Discord, but hopefully Dave will post the link to Discord again. Join us. We often, after these shows, we are on Discord for a while. Bring your camera, bring your microphone, interact.
Be there. Aloha.
Right?
Absolutely right.
What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. I don't know.
That we're going to start wrapping up unless we get a few more questions.
Oh, there's tons more questions. I stopped at 2:58, and there were a bunch more questions.
All right,
so
let's do this, man.
Yep. It's my money, and I want it now. Okay, hold on.
Told
we'll
you,
get there.
man.
We'll get there.
I have a
right, lots
custom
of-
settlement and I need cash now.
All right, Derek Franklin, 3 o'clock if you're still here. So my random question of the night, and then I'll head out. For a RAID configuration, what would you personally suggest if using a virtual system, as in if you want to make your own cloud server?
I wouldn't use RAID at all. I mean, there's only two reasons you use RAID is number one for redundancy or number two for speed, right? Or number three, a combination of the both. And in most cloud environments I know, like AWS is probably S3 is probably the one I'm most comfortable with. The idea of redundancy is utterly meaningless because they already do all that redundancy for you. It would make no sense. Speed, I got to be honest with you. I've actually never set up like RAID 0 in a cloud before. Certainly easily done, but I've never done it. It wouldn't make any sense to me. The concept of RAID fades away when I move into the cloud because I count on my cloud provider to already provide me with both speed and
But
redundancy.
he was talking about making his own private cloud.
Oh, why'd you let me go on for 20 minutes like that?
I don't know. It's hard to get a word in edgewise sometimes.
So on a private cloud, I'd probably do mirroring.
Yeah, definitely. Mirroring or RAID 6 would give you a good robust system, or even RAID 10.
Why are people doing a private cloud? You know, that's really what the question is. Is this like, big reason a lot of people do private clouds is for archival, right?
Right.
So they don't give pick the G-rated phrase here, a hoot about speed.
Right.
They're just looking for redundancy.
So mirroring would be
It's
your easiest.
Mirroring would be, yeah, I'm going to stick
far.
with, I wouldn't even go with RAID 6, to be honest with you.
Okay. So at 3:01, Malibu 8800 says, Mike, will you be releasing the new Network Plus material anytime soon? Define soon.
And define releasing, and
Yeah.
define new, and define plus. No, so you got to remember, we create materials, but we rely on, for example, McGraw-Hill as a publisher, and McGraw-Hill is going to, after we finally hand them everything, McGraw-Hill still takes a couple of months to do anything. So we have great confidence that we will have our Network Plus book out before the end of the year. It'll be out. In terms of the Net Plus videos, they'll be out in about 6 weeks from now, depending on how things are going.
Right.
And Network Plus questions on 008 they're out already, right?
Not yet.
All right, they're all soon.
But they're getting
so
ready.
the answer is multiple weeks, small number of months, 2 months kind of a thing.
Yeah, so shockingly, the book is actually lagging behind the videos and the total tester, but we're working as fast as the chimpanzees can type. Okay, now we're in the question, in the contest. Hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Daniel Ocampo, Mike El Guapo Meyers.
There we go. You're my
See.
hero. Travis Titterington. You're my hero, Mike.
Travis.
About to take your A+. Good luck.
Good luck, Travis.
And that is true, Kevin. Mike is not bald. He shaves his head.
I just play one on TV.
No, Dave, I don't know Jim from Southern Indiana, but I've heard he's nice.
Bacon toast. Finding Mimo.
Yeah. That's why I was laughing
Aaron
when we were talking
Harding
about Mimo.
is. I'm ignoring him. I'm intentionally ignoring Aaron Harding. Uber Fleet.
I don't know.
Uber Fleet, Colonel Hogan.
Uber Leet.
Bacon toast. Is Linux Plus worth it? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's changing soon. It's in its third year at this point, so
Yeah.
get on it.
Yeah. Patricia Grace, Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the what?
When I was doing the, it's Kids in the Hall.
Really? I thought it was Saturday Night Live.
No, Kids in the Hall, man.
Squeeze your head?
Yeah, that's
Crush
for
your
Kids in
head?
the Hall.
Oh man, I only saw it on Saturday Night Live.
No, I think it was on Kids in the Hall.
I've never even heard of Kids in the Hall, so
Yeah,
I definitely did not see
whatever
Kids in
drugs
the
you were
Hall.
doing back in the 70s. Hang on. Aaron Harding. If you're a student, you can get one of those.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, for sure. Lots of free stuff from Microsoft.
There's lots of free stuff, absolutely. Aaron Harding, by the way, a buttload is an actual measurement. It is 126 gallons. You haven't seen Scott's butt.
Teacher Russell.
Teacher Russell's back?
Yeah, but he's agreeing with you on hubs.
So that's because Teacher Russell is an insightful, intelligent, and attractive person.
And then lots of port jokes. Okay. I'm just scrolling for questions at this point. So at 2,
Daniel Ocampo, no kissing on the first date.
that's the 3-foot rule, yeah.
I've broken the 3-foot rule many times then, if that was the case.
Right? So lots of good comments, by the way, and then there's Teloit.
Ignore him.
I can't, he's funny. He cracks me up in the middle of the stream when I'm supposed to be trying to be serious.
Aaron Harding. I work at Facebook in Seattle, but in the kitchen.
Interesting.
Aaron, keep me posted on your process. I'd be very curious to know how somebody who's working like in a kitchen at Facebook. I'll bet he does it. Yeah, I read that.
Running around, just run around, yell, I run Arch! That's a Linux distro for those of you who are not quite up to speed. Joshua Echeverria. There we go, huh? I drilled it.
No, yes,
Hello all, long time no see. Good to see you. Joey Quetzal. How do I tell the difference between IaaS and PaaS on the exam?
Sure, that's easy. IaaS means that you have to set up you're going to open up a web page and it's going to go, do you want to start up a server? And then you have to say what kind of RAM you want, what kind of CPU you want, what kind of storage you want.
Right.
That's IaaS. Platform as a service basically means, hi, I'm Timmy. Go ahead and send us your code and we'll take care of all that for you. That's really what the difference is.
There we go. All right, so Kevin, that was quick. We just went all the way from 3 o'clock to 3:44.
Kevin Mulder, is Cloud Plus worth it? Did he not ask that question earlier? Kevin, it's probably worth it.
Somebody asked it earlier, yeah, right at the beginning.
Kareem A. Martin, is there such a thing as being asked too many performance questions?
So as far as we understand, you can be asked somewhere between 3 and 9 performance questions.
Never seen 9.
I haven't seen 9 either, but I've gotten 6. So
maybe 6.
yeah, but 3 to 4 is more common, and you'll get them right at the beginning of the exam. A lot of people, their strategy is to skip the performance-based questions and go through, answer all the multiple choice questions, and then go back and spend all of your remaining time on the performance-based questions. Because if you do it in the reverse, because the performance-based questions are first, sometimes you get bogged down and then don't have enough time to finish all the multiple choice questions. CompTIA won't tell us how much each question is weighted, how many points each one is worth, but when you've got three performance-based questions and 87 multiple choice, you do the math.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing is that I find most of the performance-based questions are extremely simple if you give them a chance. Okay, I'm going to take Security Plus out of that.
okay.
But for A Plus and Net Plus, I think they're incredibly simple. And
As long as you've done your homework and know how to configure a wireless access point, that sort of thing.
very good.
So Tom Pinkerton at 344 says, Mike, to answer your earlier question, I don't believe we know each other personally. I'd love to meet you sometime.
He owes me money. That's why he's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we use your books and materials extensively at our school, but not exclusively. I'm kidding. Using multiple vendors' stuff, we actually tell our people to go buy other people's practice tests as well as ours.
Majdi Daifa. How many RAID arrays do we have other than RAID 0, 1, and 10? Well, there's quite a few more, but the three others you should be talking about is RAID 5, RAID 6, and RAID 0+1.
Right. And there's JBOD, which isn't RAID at all, but is often accompanied.
JBOD, just a bunch of disks.
Yep.
AVI nut. You skipped? No, we ignored it. I'm kidding. You skipped my question. Wait, scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
AVI nut. Stop scrolling.
I'm not scrolling, it is.
Okay. You skipped my question about what to do if reseating the RAM does not work. I'm guessing that means the RAM is faulty, you need another RAM stick. If you're referencing from the competition question, the only other thing I would do first before I said that new RAM stick was bad is I would pull the old RAM stick out, set it to the side, run it with just the RAM stick, and see if it goes from there.
The next thing would be to put in 2 known sticks from a different system that are known good. Again, just going through the steps of, it's a lot of rebooting, but that's the easiest way to do it.
And even things like dual channel, which 5 years ago was a big deal, is pretty much not an issue anymore. Have you run into a motherboard that really requires 2 sticks anymore?
No.
Now, hang on. Dual channel is very much alive and well.
Absolutely.
But most motherboards today are very forgiving, and if you just put in 1 stick, they're like, okay, you're an idiot, we'll make it work.
So at 346, Kevin Mulder asked, Mike, do you, all caps, so I think he means you, teach any specific non-vendor neutral certs, like we used to teach all the Microsoft MCSE stuff?
But he's asking if I teach non-vendor neutral certs.
Specific non-vendor neutral certs.
Oh, okay. So like Microsoft or Kevin, no, I don't. I stick with CompTIA.
Right.
Scroll down. Let's get. Guys, we're getting close to wrap up. If you got questions, this is the time to throw it in. Okay. What do you think of LabSim? They're great. The problem is, my problem with LabSim is that it's a very protected product, and I can't advertise or talk to people about it. But LabSim is a wonderful tool for router and switch scenarios. Dennis Dombrowski at 348. I know it's early, but any plans for the new Network Plus? Any plans? Dennis, we're already done. Dennis, we've already generated a new book, which is being wrapped up. We have new videos, which were shot 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks.
We finished them 3 weeks ago. They're in post-production. So the answer is, Dennis, is that we're already done. We're just waiting to put a bow around them and get them out there for everybody.
Yep. So Mr. S at 349, does MAC addressing on IoT devices harden them? MAC addressing.
So all IoT devices have a MAC address.
Right.
He's probably talking about like ACLs, that MAC address limiting and stuff like that. So Mr. S, if you're talking about, like say I got a camera and it's an internal camera, iOS device, and I only allow it on my internal network because it recognizes the MAC address, that would be an ACL. And the answer is absolutely, it does harden them. Sure.
So Kevin Mulder asks, does TotalSem teach anything other than CompTIA? We offer a Amazon AWS certification video series. I think that's Tom Carpenter as well. No, or Tom Carpenter.
Yep.
We have various other courses that are out there on things like, there's a Active Directory course. There are courses on basic PC troubleshooting that we have. So yes, we do, although...
And then there is Scottish dance.
Once you've gone to the Highlands, laddie, you'll never go back.
That's right. I don't know where you've been, lad, but I seen you won first prize. Avocado, I still feel like I don't know enough to get a job. I know you already yelled at me about imposter syndrome, but I keep studying instead of updating CV, applying for a job. Any advice?
Update your CV and apply for a job.
Yeah, Avocado, go get a job. It's okay, man. You know? Have your employer call me. I'll say, Avocado's all right.
Mac filtering, Mr. S. Yeah.
Mac filtering helps, sure. Yeah, Mac filtering helps. Of course it does. Kevin Mulder, every job I go to, I feel like I don't qualify it. Yeah, you don't. Just go for it. There you go.
Yeah, because that was I have the earlier comment. Kevin was saying that he has imposter syndrome, and you don't ever get rid of it. So there you go. You just kind of do the job anyway.
Yeah, just do it. You'll be shocked. You don't have to learn very much in this industry to discover that everybody around you is an idiot.
Except for Mike,
well, me, of course.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't get saucy with me, Bernays. All right, guys. Looks like we're wrapping it up here. So, guys, don't forget on Friday we've got Dave Rush.
That's right.
Which is Dave Rush, D-R-A-M-A. D-R-A-M-A, better known as Drama. Because Dave Rush is a fool for drama and just loves it. I'm not sure what Dave is doing this Friday. I'm sure he's about to post it, so we know.
Dave is doing part 2 of installing an email server, which part 1 was totally cool. Part 2, just going to continue with the process. Dave's show uses installing an email server on a Raspberry Pi. Let's get that correct here. Dave will use the Raspberry Pi, which is a totally slick, little, tiny, inexpensive but powerful machine, system on a chip that runs Linux, that you can get for $25 or $45 if you like go with all those bells and whistles, and it'll do all kinds of great things for you. We use the Raspberry Pi as a tool for studying the Linux commands and stuff that we need for CompTIA A+, CompTIA Network Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus. So it's a good thing. It's Dave's drama show is at 2:00 p.m. Central Time right here on the Total Seminars channel.
And it's great fun. You should absolutely be there.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Scott, I think we got everybody covered for the day, huh?
I think we do. So thanks for playing.
Absolutely, guys. And you'll see me next Monday. And until then, this is Scott and Mike saying bye-bye. We'll see y'all later. Be good. Be safe.
And now it's time for the awkward stare because Mike doesn't know how to click the off the air button.
Watch what I'm doing.
He's clicking it, but he hasn't clicked it yet.